Hi and welcome to another late night session with Mr. Holt Maths. Match of the day is coming on quite shortly, but I thought what I'd do is a bit of a smiley face double brackets expansion session with you. Pretty much because I ain't got anything else to do. So let's go for it. So what we end up with here, we've got a question. Now what you can see on its own now, let's just see if we can zoom in a bit. There we go. So what we've got is two sets of brackets, and all it wants us to do is expand. And what we like to do is what I like to call the smiley face. So we do eyebrow, eyebrow, and then nose, mouth. Now, if you can be a bit imaginative, you're looking at some form of smiley face there. So we've got this one here. So we've got all these lines represent a times. So x, follow line times x, which gives us x squared, and I like to just put a little line through there just to say, you know, we've done that one. We've got positive 2 times by 3 there, so positive, so plus 6, we've done that one. 2 times by x, so 2x, because 2 times x is that, we've done that one. And the final one, we've got x times 3 plus 3x. Now, what we've got here is a collection of different coefficients of x. We've got an x squared, we've got units, and we've got two sets of just an x there. So these are the two, and if we do it in that order, this will always happen, to collect them. It's a bit dodgy, but so we end up with x squared plus 6, and we've got 2x's and 3x's, and when you add them together, you're going to get 5x. And if you check the textbooks and whatnot, they tend to write them x squared plus 5x plus 6. Just in that order, so we're going from, you know, x squared to x to units. But you wouldn't lose any marks if you wrote it that way in your exam. So let's have a look at this one. You can see here that the difference is we've put negatives in, and the x isn't first. So it doesn't change the method. So we go eyebrow, eyebrow, nose, mouth. 2x times 4, so this is the one we're doing first. 2x times 4 is going to give us 8x. We've got negative 2. This is where people fall into the trap, okay? We've got negative 2 times by negative x. And as you remember, if the signs are the same, we end up with a positive. So we've got negative and negative. So we're going to end up with a positive 2x there. So we've done that one. Negative 2 times 4. Well, we can't go there, so we've got a negative and a positive, just like if we had the alternative. It's going to give us a negative answer. So negative 2 times 4 is going to give us negative 8, which is this one. And then we follow it up with a 2x times negative x squared. So we've got a positive times a negative, gives us a negative. So negative 2x squared. And again, we've got the negative 2x squared. We've got our units, but these just here, as you can see, we've got two sets of x, 8x's and 2x's. We're going to end up with 10x. What's left there? Minus 8 and negative 2x squared. If you're going to write it the way that, you know, maths textbooks show you, just put it in order. So we know that's a positive 10x because there isn't a minus in front of it, so we have to know that it's a positive. And there's your answer there. But again, you wouldn't lose any marks if you wrote it this way in the exam. So let's move that one. What we've done is here just put some different numbers in front of the x, so different coefficients. But again, the method doesn't change. It's the same every time. So let's just put the smiley, smiley, happy, happy in. There we go. 2 times 4 makes life a little bit easier. We've got 8. Whoop-de-doo. Tickety. There we go. Negative 2 times negative 6 is going to give us the positive 12x squared, as seen from the previous example and video, actually. So we'll tick that one off. Oh, there we go. negative 2x times 4 is going to give us a negative 8x. And then your final one is a positive 2 times negative 6x. And you end up with the minus 12x or negative 12x. So again, you can see there that the only thing we've got to simplify is this. Oh god, that's terrible. And you end up with 8 plus 12x squared. And we've got minus 8x minus 12x. So what we're doing is we're going further down the number line. So minus 8, take away another 12, you end up with minus 20x. And again, if you want to write it correctly, we end up with the 12x squared, because we've got x squared first, minus 20x. And then because that doesn't say minus in front of it, or negative, we know it's positive. And that's the expansion there. Again, you would not lose marks for writing this. And I can't even move the paper. And the final example is this. Now, sometimes, usually they'll give 2 marks for this one, but what they're really asking is, do you know what this means in the corner here? And hopefully you realise that means squared. And anything squared means times by itself. So we write the question again. Usually there's space available. And what that means is just write it again. And then we follow the same process we've just been doing in the previous examples of eyebrow, eyebrow, nose, mouth. So 3 times 3, which is this one up here, gives us 9. We've got negative 4x times negative 4. Well, we know 2 negatives make a positive. Positive 16x squared, because we know that x times x is x squared. Negative 4x times 3, so we're going to negative or take away 12x, which is this one. And then your final one is another negative 12x. And you'll find that with all questions where the bracket actually has a squared on, because you're going to end up with the same thing twice, which is the x's. So what we end up with, if we're going to write it out, 9 plus 16x squared, because there's nothing there that changes, there's no over 9, or units, there's no over x squared. But we've got negative 12x, take away another 12x, we're going to end up with minus 24x. And I'm just going to have to use a bit of extension on the paper here. What to do? Just put a little plug there. Because if we were to rewrite this in the order, we're going to end up with 16x squared. As you can see there, I've taken that. Minus 24x. Oopsie daisies. I'm sorry that I've done this, but and then plus 9. That would obviously be attached to that. But I've run out of room. But there you go. So you've got your x squared and your x and your 9. So that's the double expanding brackets. Done on paper. Thought I'd try something a bit different rather than use the board, so it's got that horrible glare on it. Hopefully it's helped. I've done both the types of expanded brackets. I've tried to think of all the alternatives you could get. But I know there are other things in algebra where it's quite confusing. So if you've got any other videos, just comment underneath, let me know. I'll see if I can make them, because these are actually quite easy to make, so I can do these quick time. But let us know. Other than that, you've been great. Hope it's helped for your GCSEs or A-levels or whatever it is you're doing. Any other comments, just let me know. But I'll see you later.